We got new inquiries about the GM position. The Vandals, after starting 0-4, win their last 2 games. And we got Tyler Alt joining the show here on record. I'm Chad Clayman. Jalen, hit that intro. How's it going, guys? We're back for our 13th episode of On Record. Joining me here is the guy, Tyler Alt. How you doing, man?
What's up? Doing well.
Good,
How's it going?
good. Yeah, pleasure to have you here on Record with me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Before we get into our show, I do want to say thank you to our official sponsor of the LBL, the VFW of Ohio Charities. They do a lot of work for us, and they do a lot of work for our community. So to learn more about them, go to vfwohiocharities.com. So we had a pretty eventful week last week. We had the Liberty go down. The Vandals are looking tough, you know?
Yeah, so essentially I threw out a little line in my group chat saying, hey, man, I'm going to be on the podcast this week. Certainly my captain, Mike, I need to watch out for. Like, whatever he says goes. I'm not looking to get on the trade block again. I'm sure he can find his way around the rules and stuff like that. So all I was told was, don't guarantee any wins. So today, I'm just here to
They don't like
chat.
the pressure?
I'm just here to chat with. No. I just don't think they like. I don't want to be the. I'm out of the MVP race at the moment. I still lead the league in 3-point percentage.
Okay.
I started my quest to take down Jalen in free throw percentage. I'm 2 for 2 on the season, 100%. Okay. So I'm working on that. I've got my things.
I think we got to have a limit of 5 free throws for you to count first.
That's fine. I'll work. That's fine. Two doesn't count, but it's a start. It's a start.
Yeah.
But I'm just here. I'd like to just talk to you about the games. I really enjoyed the league so far. It's been a blast, so I'm happy to go through all this stuff with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool, man. So let's get it started then. The first game, we had the Mustangs and the Wolves. The Mustangs came out pretty hot. They've been looking good since their trade that they had. They came out, beat the Wolves 81-70. What did you see in that game, man?
I saw that game pretty close. I was there. I was playing in that game.
Yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts. So, Mustangs were great. They shot great.
Yeah.
The players that we traded away were awesome. They outscored our entire team in the second quarter. I don't know if you are aware of that. So, Jake and Tim outscored us in the second quarter.
And Tim was an acquisition from the Wolves. You got Tim played for
Jake
the Wolves. Jake was.
Oh,
Jake and Tim.
Jake and Tim. Yeah, we traded Jake and Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and that's funny how he just kind of came back at you guys.
It was less funny for me.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. Funny it would be how I describe it.
I thought it was a good time to see him ball like that on his old team. But.
No, they were good. They were good. It was, man. So we cause a lot of problems for teams, the Wolves, and mainly like the biggest problem we cause is that we can only give up 2 or 3 season high performances per game. So you have to choose which of your 5 remaining players are not going to get season high scoring performances. That's really the kind of problems that we.
Yeah, right.
That's not a good problem to cause, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's still the problems that we cause.
There's a lot of talent on the Wolves. A lot of shots that need to go around. I think the biggest problem with the Wolves right now is I think Mike Bennett's just got to assert himself a little bit more. I think physically he's got to assert himself a little more. Yeah, every time he drives down the lane, he's going to get a bucket. I think he settles for too many jump shots. And I think once he puts himself, body on body with most people in the league, we have a few people who could body him up, but it's hard to stop him. So I think that's maybe one of where I think the Wolves can definitely improve on is getting smarter shots.
I get that. But Mike really does. Mike does a lot.
He does do a lot.
He does a lot, and I think we've had a lot of thoughts like that. Of like, we get through these games, or we start to get down by, let's say, 6 or 7. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of kind of people, myself included, just being like, "Oh, that's a couple threes. I can make that up," kind of a thing. Mike really pushes. I mean, I get where you're coming from to assert himself. Mike pushes for team ball.
Yeah,
and I think you said this last podcast, like, that's a weakness of us. We have not clicked or gelled or things like that.
Yeah.
And, could Mike go for 40 every game? Probably. He's awesome. But I think for us to have the best chance to win, I mean, he keeps pushing team ball. We got to work together. We got to get to the right spots. We got to trust each other. We got to do all that stuff. It may not be a short-term win, but I think that's a long-term that's going to be better for us in the long term.
Yeah, no.
So.
And okay, so to kind of segue into the next game, you were talking about how team ball is huge in the Wolves.
Yeah.
I think probably the one team that emphasizes that the most is the Lions. You know, they've been together for quite a while. Jacob Fakosh and Jake Schmeltz have been together since season 3. Jordan Fakosh joined them a little later in season 4. So they've had quite a few seasons under their belt together. Ben Cameron joins them, and he's just fit flawlessly in there. He's a 10-10 guy every game. They ended up beating the Kings 77-65. Jake had 31 points, 7 boards, and Ben Cameron had 14 points and 13 boards. So, like, you know, they like I said, man, those two components are going to be really hard to beat, and especially when you include their cohesiveness throughout the team. What do you think about the Lions moving forward?
Well, first off, once we get off camera, I'm going to start taking some notes. I'm going to take this back to my team, the scouting report. That's going to be helpful. I'll take any thoughts you guys got on that. We've already talked about the Lions a lot in our group chat. I wish you could see the stuff that we send along. But we're going into this game assuming this is the best team in the league.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to make any proclamation, but we're at the point where we're in a 4-game skid.
Right.
And the Lions are not in a 4-game skid. Like, they've proven themselves over and over again. So we're coming to them thinking, this is our championship. This is the game we need to get right. This is the team we can't overlook. This is the team we have to bring our best just to beat with.
Yeah, and that's definitely what they are. You know, they have a little bit of everything. They got shooters, they got size. You know, they pass the ball around, so they really do a little bit of defense. You know, Jacob Fakosh is one of the best defenders in the league. So you know, it's always good to see him get down and dirty on defense. But yeah, they bring a lot to the table, and
I like the burnt orange. I think the burnt orange jerseys are pretty cool.
Yeah, it gives them a little extra flair.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's a cool look.
Yeah, awesome. So the Kings do drop to 0-6. Hopefully they'll pick up a game here soon. They do got the Vandals next week, so
shoot or shoot.
Yeah,
Kings.
Yeah, well, they shoot.
Shoot or shoot.
Going on to the next game, we had the Liberty and the Vandals. You want to maybe go off on that a little bit?
Yeah, so it was a great win by the Vandals.
Yeah.
I was drafted by the Vandals. I was sad when I got traded away. I'm happy on my new team, but I liked the week I spent with those guys. We got to practice a lot, and I got to know Dylan pretty well. We still text, congratulated him on the victory. And we had a crushing overtime loss to the Liberty, too. So, tough stuff. But like you said, Vandals started 0-4, not the highest on the scoring end, and yet a 12-point victory over the Liberty. So I've looked back at your historical standings, okay? Sometimes there's an undefeated team in the league. Sometimes there's one way above everybody else. Sometimes it's a little bit bunched. This is my only year in the league, okay? And granted, my team, the Wolves, plays close against a lot of people, it feels like. But I just feel like the league is very, very, very open. So you kind of talk about who's the best team or who's this best team or whatever. But I would put out there that it's an incredibly. I mean, I'm hopeful because
it's
the
deep.
Wolves and I'm near the bottom. But
it's a deep league.
But yeah, like if so, the question I would pose to you, okay, if I gave you the first 2 draft choices, okay, we're having a draft of who's going to win the championship, okay, you get to pick the first 2 teams, and I get the remaining 6 teams. Do you feel good about your? I don't know who those 2 teams are, but would you feel good about those 2 teams compared to my 6? Like, I think I would like the 6. Take a moment, think about that. Give me 2 teams. If I give you 2 teams to most likely to win the championship.
Okay, so I'm going to say one that might surprise you.
Great.
But the other one may not be too surprising. The Lions are going to be one of my picks.
Okay.
One of the 2.
Great.
And because I put so much disrespect.
Oh, no.
I'm going to have to.
What a 180.
I got to take. Well, I haven't even talked about the Pistons yet.
Okay.
I haven't even mentioned them until now. And I apologize to the Pistons. They've proven again and again that they are one of the better teams in the league. And something has just kept me back from really trusting in what they do. They are one of the most dominant teams. Josh Grissom is my favorite player in the league. Dallas has really showed out. Dallas Kiefer has really been balling lately. It's good to see him going. He was their second-round pick, so I'm glad to see him doing good. And Tan, he let me have it last week after that W. He let me know.
Really?
Yeah, he let me know that he felt disrespected on the podcast.
That was the right move.
So my eyes are being opened by the Pistons. You guys are doing great. So I'm going to go with the Lions and the Pistons.
Okay.
I think there's a good chance I'd pull off a championship with one of those two teams.
Okay, so that means you give me the 419ers. I give Malik and Matt scoring 70 a game. Okay, I get the Liberty, who you've said the best team for every single week. I don't know if they have to lose by 50 for you to not call them the best team, but I get the Liberty.
And this is a week-by-week basis.
I get
this is a week-by-week basis.
That's what I'm saying.
Going by what I see.
No, that's what I'm saying, though. I like my 6.
Yeah.
Even though you get first 2 picks, and those are 2 great teams, I like my – is the league usually like this? Is it usually competitive like this?
Yeah, it is very competitive. I think this is definitely the most competitive season we've had so far.
That's good news for us.
Yeah, well,
as well as the Wolves.
Yeah, as
that's
the
good
Wolves,
news.
Yeah.
That means our record is we've lost to good teams, right?
Yeah. And who have you lost? Who have you lost to?
We rattled off 4 straight losses. 2, 419ers, Liberty, Pistons, Mustangs, fresh off a trade.
Those are all probably like top 4 teams right there.
And you would put the Liberty up there, right?
Yeah.
They just lost by 12.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'll take my 6.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fair enough. Jalen did have 35 points that game. Had 9 rebounds. The rest of the team had 22 points.
Yeah.
So I think the Liberty's biggest issue, really, I've said it before, is their depth. Jalen can't be bearing all that burden on his shoulders.
Okay.
And it kind of harps back to what you were saying about team ball. The Liberty's got to, find some of that. And I think one of the biggest reasons is that his team is afraid to take some shots away from Jalen.
Okay.
Jalen's team is afraid to take shots away from him. I think they need to get a little bit more confidence in themselves. I think Jalen can help push confidence within his team. But I think it does all start with up top with Jalen and him helping to implement confidence in the rest of his players, help build that team, because really it's just a one-man show right now. I'd like to see the rest of his team do good. I know Dylan Sabo, he's a great player, man, great spot-up shooter. He led his high school team in threes, I'm pretty sure. And Josh, he was the first overall pick, and I've been expecting more from him. But I know he's a great player, and I know we're going to see it. It's just a matter of when. Hopefully it's not too late. The playoffs are just around the corner.
Liberty did have 5 in that game, 5 players. How big of a difference does that make?
That's a huge difference.
That's right, Jalen? Yeah.
They did have 5 players, but I do think sometimes that can be an advantage or a disadvantage.
Okay.
I don't think necessarily. Yeah, it's a disadvantage because they don't get breaks. They don't get.
I need my subs.
Right.
I feel it. I need my subs, but yeah.
And I think with the Liberty, with the 5 that they were playing with, they could have used their subs, but I think. There's just the negatives and
Okay.
and pros to that. So Goose also had 18 points and 13 rebounds, 13 rebounds. Since he came to the Vandals, he started off kind of slow, but the last few games he's been really doing good. He's 15 guy, I think.
Rebound machine.
Yeah, he really is, and he's one of the biggest guys in the league. Strong.
Yeah.
He can get up. So yeah, he also had 2 blocks. Oh, I remember the one block he had. It was nasty. Oh, oof. But we're going on to the next game here. We had the 419ers and the Pistons. The Pistons pulled away with that one, 72-68. We don't have the stats right now on the 419ers, so I don't have much to go off on there. But
it was a close game throughout.
It was a very close game throughout.
Pistons seemed to be up for most, at least towards the end. But it was a close game throughout. Which is how you describe most of the Pistons games, I feel like.
Yeah.
They're just gritty.
Exactly. That's just the essence of the team is their grit and their toughness. That's really what they bring to the table. And it's when you see all the rest of the league, just shooting threes and like playing finesse ball, it's awesome to see the Pistons really get down and dirty.
Lunch pail, hard hat. Absolutely. Go to work.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see. And the 419ers, they're definitely one of the best teams in the league. How can I? It's hard to say that because, like you said, they're just it's so deep.
Right.
And 1 week is going to be this team, the other week is going to be that team. And but yeah, you said Malik and Matt, they're put up 72 points one week.
Yeah.
They're going to be hard to beat, but, they're not unbeatable. There's definitely flaws in that system that you can attack. And it showed last season in the playoffs. Malik won the MVP, and him nor Jake Schmelz had a great postseason. They were able to attack that system and really put. You just got to run. You just got to run with that team and eventually just tire them out. Thurman didn't have that great of a game. He was 2 for 8. Did have 10 boards, but only 8 points. When you're second overall pick, you got to be consistent. Thurman's been all over the board this season. Obviously, one of the best shooters in the league. I'm pretty sure he's top 5 in field goal percentage. But it would be nice, especially for the Pistons, to see him be a little bit more consistent. So
here's my counterpoint, man. Though they win.
Yeah, they do win. Yeah, absolutely.
Win.
They find ways to win. Yeah.
They beat us.
Yeah.
Beat us in a good game. I feel like every game I show up after their game, and it's some close game where it's coming down to free throws or back-to-back shots or things like that. So I don't know. Like I said, like we would love to take whatever the Pistons have and put it on the Wolves. Like you said. So Thurman stats. Okay, maybe you expect more.
Yeah.
We want the wins.
Yeah.
We want the wins.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, some people would, rather put up the stats. Some people want the wins. It depends who you talk to.
We put up some stats, and we lost. It sucks. It's not fun.
It's not fun.
I haven't put up stats.
It's not
I mean,
fun.
I put up a little bit of stats, but minuscule. It sucks. Don't do the stats.
I think, and that's just why the Pistons are so good. They don't have that mentality. They definitely do want everyone involved.
Yeah.
They don't really care who goes off. They're not looking at the MVP award.
No.
So, the Pistons are definitely great, and it's good. It's good to see them doing well. I do want to touch on one more thing here before we move on to the next topic. Or actually, this is the next topic. The Mustangs. Actually, he doesn't play for the Mustangs anymore.
Yep. Nope.
Tyler Layton.
Yeah.
So
First round draft pick, by the way.
First round draft pick, and he has inquired about being a potential general manager next season.
Yep.
I see him on the court. He's a great leader. He can play. He can play well.
On a daily basis, I make lame jokes constantly in our group chat.
Uh-huh.
He's the only one that visibly laughs at them, that gives me an LOL or whatever. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think everyone else just groans, but he gives me a courtesy laugh, which I appreciate.
Yeah. No, Tyler, man, he's a great guy. His attitude is awesome. I think he could be a really good GM. He knows how to get his team involved. Like you said, he's always interacting with you. He's a good person-to-person guy. And I think he could definitely lead a team to a good record. I'm not sure where he would fit in, but because then you also got to look at the opportunity to keep people. Each team gets 2 contracts.
That's what I was telling Dylan. I got drafted by Dylan, who's a first-year GM.
Okay.
It's tough. It's a disadvantage being a first-year GM.
Yeah.
You have to work with different circumstances than the people who have been in this for a while. And it's not like a knowledge thing necessarily.
Right.
It's just that's the name of the
Well,
game.
with Tyler being in the league for a while, do you think it would be an easier transition rather than just?
Well, I guess I don't know your rules. So if let's say one of these GMs cuts out. Okay, Tyler comes in. Does he get the opportunity to retain the draft picks? So it's the same.
Yep,
rules.
it's like his team.
Okay. Well, so for example, you take over someone else's team. If they're stepping down from being a GM, it's possible that they didn't have the best time, or at least they're ready for a break or whatever. Maybe they didn't have the best team.
Yeah.
So you're probably less likely to retain players on contract. So
Yes,
again,
correct.
I got drafted by the Vandals. First year GM, he retains 0 players on contract. Okay, that's a disadvantage.
Right.
And I think Dylan did a good job, and now they're two wins in a row. They got the Kings coming up. But it's tough. That first year's tough.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. And
He made a
especially
great GM, but yeah, it's something worth considering.
Yeah, definitely. I think he'd be a great GM. He is averaging 18 points and 5 boards, I believe, on the season. He can shoot the lights out. So yeah, I definitely think when it comes to skill level, he's there, and when it comes to leadership, he's right there as well. So I'm glad he inquired about it, and we'll see what we can do for him. So
cool.
I mean, I'm sure you would not like to see him go if you stayed on the Wolves next season. I'm sure you'd like to see him be kept.
Yeah, I don't know how that works because, I wasn't drafted by the Wolves, so I don't know how I don't know if I'd be retained. I certainly wouldn't be retained, but
yeah, well, I don't think you'd say okay. So we have next week. We have some pretty good games here. Start off at 5 o'clock. We have the Liberty and the 419ers.
Well, let me stop you right there. So I did some prep work for this week. Basically, what I did was I set lines for the games, and there's no personal bias in this. All I did was take your average points for and the average points against of the team that you're playing, and I averaged them together, subtracted the difference, so I got a line. So, for example, I have Liberty +2 versus the 49ers. So the 49ers are expected to win by 2 points. Who do you have in that game? So if I told you 49ers -2 over the Liberty, who do you want to take in that scenario?
This is a matchup nightmare for the 419ers.
Okay.
Yeah, the Liberty, they're going to do exactly what they want to do, which is run up and down the court, be fast, and tire the big man out. It's going to happen. I mean, that's one of their biggest weaknesses, and we can that maybe they try to play. Oh, you can't play a zone against the Liberty. I really don't know how it's just a matchup nightmare for the 419ers all the way around. They really don't have anyone to guard Jalen. They'll take in the second half. They'll take Malik out the game, and it'll be. I don't think it'll be that good of a game, to be honest. I think that +2 there is
generous.
Generous, very generous.
All right. Okay, so that's easy money.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have unique perspective here.
Mm-hmm.
Played the 419ers twice this season. Played them as the Vandals. Played them as the Wolves. Okay. I get what you're saying. How Malik is a dominating figure. Puts up great stats. He has a way of playing. I'm telling you, as someone who has played them twice, the rest of their team runs.
Yeah.
They do.
Well, you make it a 4-on-5
flies
game.
down the court. They do. They run. Xavier flies down the court.
Yeah.
So I would not consider them. I realize there are.
You make it a 4-on-5 game, you know.
But I wouldn't consider them one-dimensional. I really wouldn't.
All right. I mean, I'll take it from a guy who's played them twice.
Yeah. I was sucking wind both times.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to play them again.
And that's just where the Liberty lack too is with the big man.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think their biggest big guy is Kurt Meyer, and he's going to have a rough time with Malik. If Malik can get in position, get his feet set, and make a good move under the basket, I think he can give Kurt some trouble. But like I said, going into the second half, I think it's going to be tough because eventually it's just going to be a 4-on-5. If Malik can't get back. So. And I think that's going to be their game plan going in, is keep making them huff and puff. So, I'll take the Liberty on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it'll be close.
What about,
I'm not picking anybody. I got to play these teams.
Okay.
I'm not taking anybody.
Fair enough.
I'm hoping for a good game.
Unbiased.
No injury.
This is what you got right here. That's what you're going to go off of.
That's math. That's not my opinion. That's just math.
All right. Yep. Fair enough. We got the next game here. You want to go ahead with that one?
Yeah, so according to my super secret calculations, I have the Vandals favored by 3.5 points over the Kings. 3 weeks ago, this would have been you would have circled this on your calendar and said, "Hey, one of these teams is going to get a first win." But now the Vandals are hot.
Yeah,
they're hot.
They're hot, and I think a lot of that has to do with their GM Dylan. He's
trading me away. Go ahead and you say.
No, he's made some good acquisitions, and Goose has really been playing well for him as of late. So I'm really excited to see the Vandals go for it, but the Kings, man, I'm really hoping that this is the game. They're due. I love Dylan Semler, man. He can shoot. He's top 10 scoring all time in the LBL.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he can score.
Claude Monday, Clay High School graduate. He's from my high school. So
okay.
I gotta give him a shout out.
I mean,
scored 31 2 weeks ago.
I'll say, yeah. 2 weeks ago. 31.
I can't even tell you the amount of money I would pay. He shot like 19 threes. I'd do anything to shoot 19 threes in the game. That'd be great.
Maybe just get yours.
That'd be great. Yeah.
You're coming home.
I'll talk with Mike about that. He'd be cool with that. Yeah.
But no, I can see the Vandals keeping their hot streak going, winning a third one against the Kings, which, judging by their past 2 weeks, they should get this W. But it would be nice to see Blanco and Semler.
It is an interesting
boys.
matchup because the Vandals keep their opponents to the lowest scores. You wouldn't think that, but it's true. People who play the Vandals score less. I don't know if that means they got the greatest defense, whatever. Congrats to the Vandals. But they score less, okay? So the games are usually low scoring with the Vandals. Kings are boom or bust.
Yeah.
Threes go a long way when you're scoring 60 points.
Yep.
As opposed to playing a team that can score 75 points. So the Kings are never going to be out of the game.
Right, and they've had a lot of close games. They just don't have that really key go-to player. Here's the ball, I need a bucket. We'll see what happens there, but I'll take the Vandals.
Cool.
Wolves and the Lions.
Yeah.
Oof.
This is our game of the year right here.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, for our Wolves. Okay, Lions are favored by 5 points over the Wolves.
Yeah. I would say that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
We talked earlier before the show, and the thing with the Lions is they're just so they love playing with each other.
Yeah.
They are very unselfish, pass the ball around, and they honestly pass the ball around in the perimeter, and then they find hopefully the cutting guy underneath the basket, and that's what they're just so good at, making nice, beautiful passes under the basket after some good after some good ball movement around the perimeter. So I think that's what you guys need to really look out for. Stick close, to your man, be in their face. Can't let them shoot threes because that's what they're going to do. They're going to suck you up, and then pass it down. You know, so it's just like, you guys have a tough game there.
Well, let me let you in a little bit of team chemistry stuff. So, no real comments on the Lions. They're really good, and we're expecting them to be really good. But in terms of us, okay, how many times have you lost 4 straight crushing games in a row?
Yeah. Actually, I played high school football for Otsego. So
okay, all right. It's not fun.
It's not fun.
It sucks, right? Sometimes you're on the great team. Sometimes you're on the team that's losing 4 games in a row. I think you'd be blown away at kind of the team morale that we have.
Yeah.
We get off the court and it's more of a, man, how did that happen again? I think everybody believes in everybody. I know that sounds lame. I'm sure maybe every team is like this, but you could lose 4 games in a row and start to pack it in, or start to point fingers and be like, this guy, why are we doing this? Why aren't we doing that? We really get off the court and we're like, we're going to get it next time. We got this. Hey, Tyler, keep shooting. Hey, Mike, keep driving the hole. Keep doing all that stuff. Trust each other. We're going to figure this out. Now, we may lose the rest of the games of the season. I don't know. But I can tell you the Vandals, who started 0-4, my short time with them, they're a team that's been like that too, where even amongst their losses, they're like, we can do this. We can figure it out. We're a team. We're sticking together. We're going to pull through this.
Is that something now that you kind of have to look at when you draft? You have to look for those guys? Or is that something that you help instill as the season goes on? Or is that more of like just everybody has to more think that way? Or is it more of I can help put this mindset into our team?
I think it depends on the year. In a year where all the teams are even or close to even, where where the Vandals can show up and beat the Liberty by 12, and it's like, okay, this is the league that we're in. The gel of the team, the confidence of the team, the belief in each other, the kind of team camaraderie, being able to handle those kind of punches. So I coached college tennis for 3 years. And one of my favorite quotes to go and talk to my team. My team was very athletic, but not a lot of country club kids, which is rough on a tennis team.
Right.
Okay. And one of the quotes I like to open up most seasons with, or when we would have to play a tough team, it's from Mike Tyson. I'm sure you heard it before, but he was he was a known big time brawler, but not a nuclear physicist, right? You know what I mean? And so these people would have whatever, max a guy on 30 seconds, that's no big deal. I got a way to figure out that kind of stuff. His quote would be, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face, which I think is great. Our tennis team would punch people in the face. They would have this plan like playing this nice, pretty tennis, and we would just kind of be athletic and scrappy and all that stuff. Our team gets punched in the face week after week after week, man. And I think we're the type of team that just going to roll with that. We're going to be okay. We come back every week and we're going to try and play. I think this week we're going to show up. I have nothing about the other team. It's a joy to play with these guys. I don't see us giving up. I don't see us packing in. I don't see us being selfish. Yeah. We're gonna keep being, iron sharpens iron. We're gonna keep getting better the more we take on these games, the more we play together.
And which players get season highs?
Yeah, so that was a joke. You missed my joke earlier in the podcast. But when I said the Wolves cause problems, we just give up season highs to everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
So which players do you pick to get a season high against us?
Man, I would probably say Jacob Fakosh, because everyone's going to be focused in on Jake Schmeltz. You got to be. You got to push up hard on him. Duke can let it fly from almost anywhere on the court, and then I think Jacob really gets at it defensively. It'll make him tired. Yep. Not Jacob, whoever he's playing defense against, and then he's going to be able to get out. It's always that third person on the team that you got to watch out for. Everyone's focused on Jake Schmeltz. Everyone's focused on Ben Cameron, and then you got a matchup. You got to look out for in that third person. Who's he playing against? Who's guarding him? Yeah. And I think Jacob has a lot of the times has the third best player on the team defending him. So I think who do you think is going to be guarding him?
Oh, I'm going to shut him down. Now that you called him out, I'm going to shut him down.
Oh, shoot, Jacob. Okay. You got a challenge here, man.
Please don't guard it. Don't do that to me, Jacob.
All right.
No, but we've given up 90, 90, 80, 80 points.
Yeah.
That's and some of it feels like teams are just shooting lights out, but you can't make that excuse. Yeah, you can't make that excuse. That's ridiculous. So,
and that's definitely something you got to do with the Lions and make sure you get up in their face. You can't let them shoot the three because they will, and they'll do it, all night. So
cool.
Got the Mustangs and the Pistons. So, Mustangs are hot.
Yep.
Pistons are even hotter. So, we got a good game here.
That's the thing about the Pistons. I wouldn't even call them hot. They're just a nice even. You get what you get with the Pistons. They're gonna show up. They're a grind. They're just simmering the whole time.
Their first loss was week one.
They lost in overtime. I watched that game. They were up 2, shooting a foul shot. They missed the foul shot, fouled on the rebound with 2 seconds left. Lions came back, made their free throws to go to overtime, then they lost in overtime.
And having your only loss against the Lions too, it's not a bad thing. But Mike Flipsy from the Mustangs, he's I call him the leg.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever noticed how when he goes, or legs, I call him legs, just because when he goes up for a layup, or he's always shooting some tough jumper, he's always spreading his legs, doing some funky things with his legs.
Reggie Miller.
Yeah. So I'd like to see legs take down the Pistons this one. I think he will. I think that the Mustangs are a lot tougher than what people give them credit for.
Okay.
And I think Mike Flipsy's going to have a heck of a game, and kind of make that +4 disappear pretty quickly. So it'll be a close game. I think it might even hit overtime.
It's always a close game.
I'm going to say Pistons might be mad at this one.
I think they've long since stopped listening to the
74 to 72.
Okay.
I'm going to go Mustangs.
Okay. Big one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think they'll have a great game.
Yeah?
I wish them the best.
All right, that's fair enough. Fair enough. We don't want to get too choosy. You gotta be unbiased here. You gotta be unbiased.
Especially when they've all beaten us. I'm not talking trash about them beating us, man.
Yeah, talking crap, a little bit here and there. Okay.
No, that's what I was explicitly told not to do in my group chat. I'll listen to the group chat.
All right. Got to listen to the GM there. So.
Right. Yep. He knows what he's doing.
Cool. I think there's one more thing I wanted to hit on here. The Liberty.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're still a threat after losing to the Vandals?
I've made my point. Everyone's a threat. Even the Kings, I think, are due for a win. I really do. You pick two teams, okay? You pick two teams. You pick the Lions, you pick the Pistons. You've already picked the Pistons to lose this week. Okay? It sucks having 5 players, but even still, Vandals could beat them with a full team. I believe it. I believe it. There is no team that's out of it. Now, maybe that's wishful thinking for me on the 2-4 Wolves, but there's no team that's out of it.
I think I just had such high expectations going in the season.
Okay.
For the Liberty, and I think that's
I think you
where
can
it
still
lies.
be right. I think you're just. I think the rest of the league is good.
Yeah.
I think it's even.
Yeah, that's
my
fair point.
take. I played in all of these, and it feels like we could have lost every single game, or we could have won every single game. It really does feel that way.
All right. Well, hey, that's fair enough. I think we're gonna wrap it up there, though.
No, great.
If you do want to be next week, we actually have Jalen.myers coming on this side of the camera here. I'm excited to have him on and talk with him a little bit. If you want to be a guest going into the playoffs, even we'll be doing podcasts still. Let me know. And then also, I do want to touch on the stat books a little bit. When you guys go take stats, please make sure you write your name. You know who's taking stats. Make sure you fill out the top. That way we can, keep it in order. What time the games were played, and just be a little bit more organized. Also, we're gonna try to. Tyler here had a good idea. Try to get that third person in there to help call out stats, and I think that's something that we're gonna have a talk about the GMs with because we definitely could help the stat guys out a little bit more and be more accurate with the stats. So be looking forward to that. And then, man, I think that's it. So thanks, guys, so much for tuning in to this season or to this episode. I'll see you next week, 5 o'clock on Friday. See ya.